Hi, Chris with Slick Cyber Systems. We're here for a new blog update, and we're going to talk about phishing attack, a new one that's out. It's pretty ugly. Steve's going to lead us in this one. And
just another one. What number is this?
I don't even know. In the myriad, the countless number of
it's relatively new. It's kind of hit the news in the last 24 to 48 hours.
It is a pretty ugly one.
And it is very, very ugly.
Yeah.
So how severe is it? This
one's gnarly.
It's going to change a lot of things.
But bottom line is that this is it's hard to believe. This is a phishing attack that uses a real-time interception to bypass multi-factor authentication.
So they cracked it already.
It's like, I'm referencing an article here, and I'm going to be, parroting some of this, but talking more opinions as I'm going. So this thing's known as Astaroth. It's a tool, it's a middleman that intercepts all the traffic between your user and a legitimate site. So let's just say, Gmail, Yahoo, Microsoft, what have you. This is where it gets wild. So it is truly next level. These guys have a site that looks absolutely identical to the real site. It has real SSL certs on it. There's no pop-ups on it. It's not like when in a typical phishing scam, for an entry-level scammer, right? Here's the payload, pop-ups and the browser hijacks and that kind of stuff. This thing is way different.
Well, they're getting sophisticated.
This is quiet, and you literally think you're going to the correct site, and it's, as you type in your username and password, it's passing it on to the actual Microsoft site. We're going to pick on them for the moment because.
Well, why don't we start at the beginning? How does this all start? How do you get it? Like, how would you get it? Have the ability to get
a phishing email. A phishing email comes in, okay, right? And this happens to be the vector in which they're prying this out. So the user clicks on it, thinking this is a real thing.
So it looks like a link for like Microsoft or something like that.
It looks just like the site. When they put their username and password in, it captures that real time, passes it off to the actual Microsoft site or Google or Yahoo or whomever you're going to. And then when it asks for MFA, the MFA code is sent back to the user. The user then enters the MFA code, but they're not entering the MFA code directly on Microsoft's site. They're entering it on this site, and they're capturing that real time. So they can literally use that immediately, real time, to log in themselves. And now you just logged in, and so did they. And now they're in. Guys, that's freaking scary.
So MFA doesn't work anymore.
Well, in this particular case, it works, but they're stealing it. So yeah, pretty much. You could say no, it's not working. I mean, it is working, but they're just grabbing everything. And then you got to also understand that this program, this Astaroth, is grabbing session cookies. I mean, it's nuts. It is just crazy.
It's really pretending it's you when it's.
Whew.
So you can't even turn off your computer after that. It doesn't matter. They have all your information.
At that point, it doesn't matter. And from what I'm reading here, comes a feature that makes appealing to cyber criminals. It uses bulletproof hosting to stay online despite law enforcement efforts, receives frequent updates to bypass security patches, and follows a structured payment model. For $2,000, buyers can get 6 months of continuous upgrades. To build trust, the creators even let hackers test the phishing kit before purchasing. Try before you buy?
So
hacking?
This is another like criminal platform like we discussed the other day.
Oh my God! I want to use some 4-letter explanatives here, and I can't. But
sounds like we're in a wrong work.
Woo! Yeah, like right. It's widely available through Telegram, underground cybercrime forums.
So how can you prevent this?
How do you prevent it? The only thing that I really know, Steve, is we're back to a previous video where you need to train your employees. You need to be trained yourself, but your employees, I mean, you've got to really carefully look at everything that comes in. And as it's getting more sophisticated, I mean, this is critical. I mean, another reason for zero trust, right? Zero trust networking, where IT department sets those links, on a site, and that's how you click to get into whatever you get into. I mean, that's really, if you want it bulletproof, that's the only way that I know to make it bulletproof. Other than that, that phishing email comes in, you better have your users trained well enough to go, I didn't ask for anything, or ask the question. Did I ask for this? Is this real?
So how do you check to see if the URL is real or not?
Well, I mean, if you hover, like when you have a link in an email, if you hover over the link, don't click on it, just hover over it. Usually in the bottom left corner or somewhere on that screen, you'll be able to see that URL that you're going to. If you're unsure, right mouse click, and then there's a copy URL, paste it in Notepad, and then you can see the URL. If you look at that carefully, chances are there's a minor misspelling there. Microsoft instead of with M1 CR. I mean, there are these people are very creative. They want to make it look as real as possible. So that little attention to detail, is this real? Going through that extra step, which takes 20 seconds to do, and even if you're not savvy with it, 30 seconds by the time you open up all the notepad, and at least look. And again, when in doubt, call your IT provider and at least let them look.
If they really want to get in touch with them, you can always go to the site
directly. Absolutely. So things to watch for. And again, I'm reading some of this now just because this is so new that this warranted a video and fast. So unexpected account login security alerts. Of course, if you're have us hiring a service that does managed SOC and that kind of stuff, we're going to be able to look and go, this IP address was logged in, and we're going to flag that and go, this is not normal behavior. And then you go back to that user and say, did you do this? Are you in another country? Are you here? Are you there? And so that helps. You're mysteriously logged out of accounts, whether it be Microsoft or like, well, I just logged into this thing. I mean, what did I get logged out? Flag. Password changes. If you didn't make the password change, you already know it. This is even old school, right? You didn't make the password change. Somebody else did for you, and that means they have access to your account. Slow system. Like performance issues, odd behaviors of the machine. Because you have to understand this Astaroth uses legitimate Windows processes, WIMC, bits, Red Server 32, right, to register DLLs. That they're using those actual Microsoft things to hide themselves. And again, not just Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, all the big companies. Yeah. But they're using real stuff.
Functions.
Right. So you have to be aware of that slow system. Man, my machine's way slower than it ever was, and it just happened, between Friday and Monday. Okay, well, you should be asking questions. Your browser acting strangely. I mean, we talked about browser hijack, because technically that can't happen during this, and go from there. So if you click on a page and it triggers a warning or an error or something to that effect.
So, if you have, let's just imagine your organization's big, and you have a lot of footprint with regard to how many people are accessing, just email alone. Do you recommend then that, that you have, I don't want to say elite users or mass users, like you're more tech savvy in the crowd, that you have people that are up trained in addition to your common training?
It certainly helps. I mean,
they could kind of lean on them a little bit.
If corporate allows that, because you're taking away from another job, obviously they have, and it's not IT. So if they allow that, I mean, that's fine. My personal opinion is it should still go back through IT, because we're logging this stuff and we keep a record of what's going on. So at least there's some continuity. From an IT perspective, we've had 3 of these in the past 2 weeks, and then you start looking at your border security, and whatever may be going on there.
You come back with different alternate methods of dealing with it.
So what to do if you suspect any of this stuff? Obviously, you want to disconnect from the internet immediately. Call IT department. Run your malware scans if you don't have an IT department. I mean, at least run a full, antivirus scan, a malware scan. Change your passwords. And that should be done probably several times. And you may have to, at the end of the day, you may have to reset your entire computer back to factory, back to scratch and start over. I mean, it could be that polluted at that point where you've got to do something. And quite honestly, it's probably the best thing at that point, because the AV and the other stuff doesn't EDR, they don't catch it.
Yeah.
You've got to do something, because you can't let that run rampant. But disconnecting from the internet or the network is huge, because then you don't want other machines getting affected and infiltrated with this crap. How to avoid it? How about use some good, strong antivirus software? If you don't have good malware, EDR, that kind of stuff in your machine, you're in for a world of hurt at some point in time. It's going to happen. It's not a question of if, it's when.
So it's gotten to the point where, if you don't have an internal knowledgeable IT staff, you better have someone on the outside that can actually break this down, truly explain it to you, and give you real options
and understand,
to protect it.
And to understand what happened. Double check your sites. I mean, again, we talked about the website, the URLs. Are they, is it Microsoft.com, or is it MicrosoftInc.com, or M1, Microsoft with one. I mean, the little stuff like that, but it's not little. It's huge, because that could be the fraudulent link, that you're trying to go to. Your devices should be updated. All your security patches should be updated continuously. It always helps. Is it perfect? No, but again, this is a multi-layered defense strategy that you're trying to implement, and every little building block happens. I mean, if the building block near the bottom is the weakest link, you smash that block, the wall comes tumbling down.
So it's like the moat around the castle, the guard gate, the gates and the guards and the.
It is what it is. Avoid typing passwords.
Yeah.
I mean, there are, we have a lot of. There's pass keys, the MFA sign-ins, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's always good. Like here, click here, we'll send you a link, and then you log in through clicking on something. That's a pass key type thing. Or if you have a password manager, copy paste. Don't type it, just copy paste. Because if they have a keylogger on there, they're going to know what you typed. Whereas you paste it, they don't know. They can't capture that. To summarize this, I mean, how far has phishing come in all these years? It is really hitting an age now where, the usual tricks. Now we're bypassing MFA, two-factor authentication. Correct. Well, this is the beginning of it, and it's not really the beginning, but this is the first time where it's actually become viable, and you could pay a subscription, $4,000 a year, and have unlimited access to this platform to be able to do this kind of stuff. And it's $4,000 a year. They're stealing more than that from you in the course of a day. Let alone a year.
Platforms are, in my opinion, the things that are spookiest part of it all. They're smart people that got together to make a platform.
Disgusting.
To sell software so they can steal.
Therefore, if they just did something good with their lives and their talent, as opposed to being
they're criminals. They're never going to do that. Criminals don't do that.
All right, we'll wrap this one up. But we want to let you folks know about this one. This is a crazy one. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of this kind of stuff, technical term
Hopefully
stuff.
We don't.
I hope not, but it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. So anyway, Slick Cyber Systems, Steve, Chris, Jim. 570-215-8888, slickcybersystems.com. You can reach us, ask us questions about this stuff. We can try to give you as much advice and guidance as we possibly can, or provide you with tools to help you and your employees, thwart this kind of junk. So, anyways, have a great day, and we'll talk to you in the next vlog. Cheers. If you find this content helpful, please like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends and your colleagues. Thank you.